Welcome to the deep dive.
Yes.
And today
I'm diving.
we're deep diving into this book that you sent us. Day Trading Attention by Gary Vaynerchuk.
Yeah.
Um,
Big GaryVee fan.
you know, I am.
Yeah.
I am a GaryVee fan.
Yeah, good one.
And this book is clearly you're looking to kind of step it up on social media.
Yeah.
And not just post on social media,
Right.
but really use it to your advantage.
Totally.
And
I think this book will definitely give you the tools to do that.
I think so too.
Yeah.
So right out of the gate, Vaynerchuk throws down this concept
Yep.
of day trading attention.
Yes.
Now, what is that all
I
about?
think a big one.
I mean, it sounds kind of intense.
It does sound intense, but honestly, when you really break it down, I
Nice,
think
yeah.
it makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
Essentially, what GaryVee is saying is you need to be strategic and smart about where you're putting your energy and time on social media.
So instead of just like
Instead of just posting.
posting and hoping for the best.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The old, post and pray method
Yeah.
that we all did
Right.
back in the day.
Yeah.
You really have to pay attention to, like, where's the attention going right now?
Yeah.
What are the hot platforms?
Like finding
Where are
the
the trends?
next big thing before it blows up.
Yes. Yes. You want to find those undervalued opportunities.
Yeah.
You want to find the next,
Yeah.
big trend before it's a trend.
Right.
And I think the book really does a good job of
Okay.
giving you the tools to do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is reminding me of something you said before we started recording
Mm-hmm.
about how the way we consume content has fundamentally shifted.
Oh, 100%.
Like from even like 5 or 10 years ago
Oh, yeah.
to now.
For sure.
I mean, it's changed so much.
Well, he talks about this thing called the interest graph, and it's this fascinating concept that, like, in the early days of social media, what you saw was mostly based on who you followed.
Yeah.
That was kind of your social graph.
Yeah, your network.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now algorithms have gotten so smart
Right.
that they really understand what you're interested in,
Based on your behavior.
regardless of who you follow.
Right.
So it's not about who you follow anymore.
Internet.
It's about what you like,
So what does that mean
that you engage with.
for someone like me
Yeah.
trying to build a brand?
I think it's great news
Okay.
because it means you don't need a massive following
Okay.
to get your content seen.
Okay.
Like, if you create really good content that the algorithms deem relevant and interesting to people with a specific interest,
Okay.
you can reach a ton of people,
Yeah.
even if you have, like, no following,
Wow.
which is amazing.
Okay, that's encouraging.
It is encouraging.
So, okay,
For you don't need
we know that we don't need
a million followers
1 million followers.
to make it work.
But
Yeah.
how do we find these underpriced attention opportunities?
Yes.
Like, how do we know what to focus on?
And that's where the day trading attention comes in.
Okay.
You have to monitor it all the time.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, you have to be paying attention to
So it's not like a
what are the new platforms.
set it and forget it thing.
No, it is not a set it and forget it.
Okay.
You have to be engaged. You have to be willing to experiment,
Wow.
because what works today might not work tomorrow.
Yeah.
Especially with social media,
Yeah.
things are constantly changing.
Okay.
So you have to be on top of it
So where,
and be willing to adapt.
where do you even begin?
Well, GaryVee has a great framework in this book called Platforms and Culture,
Okay.
or PAC.
Got it.
And it's about understanding the nuances of each social media platform.
Okay.
Like, what kind of content works well on that platform?
Yep.
What are the demographics of the users? What's the overall vibe of that platform?
So it's not just,
He says, content is king, but context is God.
ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
So it's not just about creating
So you have to understand.
great
And
content,
tuning it.
but creating great content
Yeah.
that works on that specific
And tailoring it for that.
platform.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, like, a video that might go viral on TikTok might completely flop on LinkedIn
Right.
because the audience is totally different.
Totally different vibe.
Yeah.
Totally different people.
Exactly.
Different interests.
So how do I figure out which platforms are right for me?
That's a great question. And I think GaryVee has some good advice on that.
Okay.
He says you should really ask yourself,
Okay.
what are you trying to achieve with your social media?
Okay.
What are your goals?
Goals. Right.
Who is your target audience?
Huh.
And what kind of content do they consume?
Okay.
So once you answer those questions,
Yeah. I think it becomes a little clearer
yeah,
which platforms are best.
makes sense.
And you don't need to be on every platform.
Okay.
Like, just focus on a couple where you can do really well.
That's reassuring because I feel like sometimes you have to be everywhere all at once.
Yeah, you don't have to be everywhere.
And that's overwhelming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's too much, yeah.
Okay, so let's say we've chosen our platform or platforms.
Okay.
How do we actually capture people's attention?
Well, GaryVee is all about storytelling.
Okay.
He says people are drawn to stories.
Yeah.
They want to be entertained.
They
They want to learn something. They want to feel something.
Okay, so how do you translate that into content?
Well, in the book, he kicks it off with this great story
Okay.
about Nathan Apodaca,
Okay.
a cake a dog face.
Okay.
Do you remember him?
Oh, yeah.
The guy's skateboarding.
Drinking ocean spray.
Yes, drinking ocean spray.
Listening to Fleetwood Mac.
Listening to Fleetwood Mac. Like,
Yeah.
that is iconic.
Yeah.
And it just shows you the power of simple, authentic content
Mm-hmm.
because that video went super viral.
Yeah.
And it's a great story.
It is, and it's
It
interesting
resonates with people.
because he almost didn't post that video.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Isn't that crazy?
And I think that's something Vaynerchuk really emphasizes in the
It
book.
does.
Is like,
Put yourself out there.
just put yourself out there.
Even if you're unsure,
Yeah.
like you never know what's going to resonate.
Right.
And he says, you are one piece of content away from changing everything.
Wow. That's powerful.
Yeah.
It's true.
It is.
Like, you never know
You never know.
what that one thing is going to be
You never know.
that changes the game for you.
Yeah.
And it's a good reminder to not let self-doubt hold you back.
Absolutely. Don't overthink it.
Don't overthink it.
Just post it.
Just do it.
Yeah.
All right, so we talked about day trading attention.
Yeah.
The interest graph.
Yes. We talked about the packs.
A pack framework.
Yes.
Now let's talk about cohorts.
Yes. Cohorts.
What is a cohort?
So GaryVee defines cohorts as groups of people with shared interests, values, and demographics.
Okay.
And he encourages you to get super specific
Okay.
with your targeting.
Okay.
He calls them cohorts with teeth.
Cohorts with teeth.
Yes.
I love that.
It's kind of a funny name.
It is a funny name.
But he's basically saying, like, the more specific you can get,
Right.
the more unique and relatable your content will be.
Can you give an example?
Yeah, so instead of just targeting women,
Right.
what if you targeted women in their 30s who live in urban areas and are passionate about sustainable living?
Okay.
That is a cohort with teeth.
Oh, okay. So it's very
It's very specific.
niche.
Yes, it's very niche.
And you're not just talking to anybody.
Exactly. You're talking to
You're talking to people who are more likely to
a very specific
engage with your content.
group of people. Yeah, they're more likely to be interested in what you have to offer. Okay? You know, it's like,
So we've covered day trading attention.
yeah.
The interest graph,
Mm-hmm.
the Packy framework,
Yeah.
and cohorts.
Cohorts with teeth.
Cohorts with teeth.
Yes.
This is a lot to process,
It is. It is.
but it's all about laying a foundation
It is.
for a successful social media strategy.
Yes, exactly. And once you understand these concepts, I
Yeah.
think the rest will make more sense.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So we'll see you in part 2,
Yeah, we'll dive into the content.
where we're actually going to
What-
get into the content creation.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. See you there.
See you there. Okay, so in part 1, we talked about kind of the big picture,
Right.
understanding the social media landscape, finding underpriced attention,
Yep.
identifying your target audience. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty
Okay, I like it.
of content creation.
All right, let's do it.
So GaryVee is a big proponent of what he calls strategic organic content,
Okay.
or SOC.
All right, SOC. Got it.
And it's all about creating content with a clear purpose in mind.
Okay.
So you're not just posting for the sake of posting.
So how is it different from what most people are doing?
I think most people approach social media with a post and pray mentality.
Yeah.
They just throw content out there and
Right.
hope for the best.
Yeah.
But SOC is about being deliberate and thoughtful.
Okay.
You're creating content with specific goals in mind.
So it's more like post with purpose.
Yes, exactly.
I like that.
Yeah.
But how do you actually put that into practice?
Well, he really stresses the importance of understanding your audience's needs and interests.
Okay.
What kind of content are they looking for? What problems are they trying to solve?
Right.
And once you understand that,
Yeah.
you can start creating content that provides value.
So it's not just about like promoting your product or service.
It shouldn't always be about that.
Okay.
Sometimes it's just about providing something helpful,
Yeah.
entertaining, informative.
Right.
You know, Gary Vee has this famous saying, jab, 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 right hook.
Ooh, I like that.
Right.
Right. I've heard that before.
You've heard that one.
Yeah.
So jab, 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 provide value, value, value.
Right.
And then the right hook is the ask.
Okay.
So you're not always asking for something.
Oh, okay.
You're building that relationship first.
Okay. So what kind of content can I create that provides value?
Well, he talks about a lot of different tactics in the book.
Okay.
One of his favorites is straight-to-camera selfie videos.
Really?
Yes, just talking into the phone.
Right.
As simple as it sounds.
So no fancy
It can be incredibly effective.
film crew.
Nope, you don't need a film crew.
Okay.
You just need your phone and good lighting.
Okay.
And be yourself.
Okay.
People want to see the real you, not some polished, overproduced version of you.
So embrace the rawness.
Embrace the rawness, exactly.
Okay. I like it.
You know, he says phone, light, action.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay, so what other tactics does he recommend?
So he talks about something called trendjacking,
Okay.
which is leveraging trending audio or formats,
Mm-hmm.
but always staying true to your brand voice and message.
So like using a popular song in a video, but putting your own unique spin on it.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
Using those trends to your advantage.
Got it.
He also talks about strategic reposts,
Okay.
which is breathing new life into your evergreen content.
Okay.
Evergreen content is content that stays relevant over time.
Right. So it's not time sensitive.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So you don't always have to reinvent the wheel.
Mhm.
If you have content that performed well in the past,
Yeah.
find ways to repurpose it.
Okay. Like recycle it, kind of. Give
Yeah.
it a new life.
Exactly. Update it.
Okay.
Give it a fresh coat of paint.
I like it.
Street interviews.
Okay.
He's a big fan of street interviews.
What does that mean?
So it's going out and capturing those spontaneous, relatable moments.
Yeah.
Like you could attend an industry event or a conference
Yeah.
and interview people
Okay.
about their experiences or insights.
Like getting the pulse of what people are thinking.
Exactly. Yeah.
In a real authentic way.
Yeah. And those interviews can be a gold mine for content.
Right.
You can extract sound bites, create short clips,
Okay.
you know, even turn them into longer form videos.
Okay. So it's all about being creative and resourceful and in tune with what your audience is interested in.
Exactly.
Okay.
What other tools does Vaynerchuk recommend?
So he's a big fan of creating content with multiple actions.
Okay, what does that mean?
So you're kind of layering different elements to make your content more engaging.
Can you give me an example?
Yeah, so he talks about Gary Vee's show, Trash Talk,
Okay.
where he gives business advice
Okay.
while opening sports cards.
Okay, that's unique.
It is unique, right?
Yeah.
It's combining his two passions.
Business and sports cards in
Yeah.
a way that's entertaining and informative.
So it's thinking outside the box and finding ways to really engage your audience.
Yes, exactly.
Um,
What about memes?
Memes. He loves memes.
Okay.
He sees memes as a powerful form of communication.
Yeah, but I feel
They
like
convey tone and energy.
they have to be done well.
They do. They do.
He highlights Slim Jim in the book,
Okay.
the meat snack brand.
Yeah.
They have found so much success
Really?
by embracing meme culture.
So even a brand that's been around forever,
Yeah.
they can still be relevant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Find those new ways to connect.
Cool.
Yeah.
What about tapping into like pop culture moments?
Yes.
He calls those pop culture crossovers.
Yes. Pop culture
Just
crossovers.
tying your brand into like trending conversations or events.
Yes. He's a huge advocate for this.
Okay.
And he uses the example of Ryan Reynolds,
Okay.
who incorporated a Peloton bike into an ad for Aviation Gin.
Oh, yeah. After that Peloton ad went viral.
After that Peloton ad went viral,
I remember that. Yeah.
it was brilliant.
That was brilliant marketing.
Yeah. So he turned a potentially negative situation
Totally.
into a win for his brand.
Yeah. He's a marketing genius.
He is.
So it's all about being aware of what's happening.
Yes.
And finding ways to like insert your brand into those conversations.
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. What about user-generated content?
User-generated content, yes.
UGC.
UGC. So this is content created by your fans or customers.
So I don't even have to make it.
You don't even have to make it.
Other people make it for me.
Exactly. And he uses the example of GoPro.
Okay.
They built a massive following
Yeah.
by encouraging their customers to share the footage
Mm-hmm.
that they captured using GoPro cameras.
That's so smart.
It's a win-win.
It is a win-win.
Customers get to showcase their creativity.
Yeah.
And you get free marketing content.
And you get free marketing. Yeah.
And it builds a community around your brand.
Yeah, that's awesome. What about using the green screen feature?
Green screen. Yes, this is another versatile tool. He talks about using green screen to add commentary to news articles,
Okay.
react to videos, or even showcase products in different settings.
He uses the example of Mr. Beast, right?
Mr. Beast, yeah.
The YouTuber
Yeah.
with the crazy challenges and giveaways.
Yeah, and he uses green screen in super creative ways.
Yeah.
Like he'll be standing in front of a giant stack of cash, and then suddenly he's on a deserted island.
Okay.
You know, it just adds that visual interest.
Keeps people engaged.
Keeps people engaged.
Yeah. Okay, this might seem basic, but I know Vaynerchuk talks a lot about asking questions in your content.
Yes, asking questions is so important.
Okay.
It encourages engagement, sparks conversation, helps you gather insights about your audience.
He talks about using polls a lot.
Polls, yes, on Instagram, LinkedIn. You know, polls are a great way to see what your audience is thinking.
What they're interested in, what challenges they're facing.
And then that feedback can help.
And then you can use that to inform your content strategy.
Inform your content strategy, yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, cool.
And then he also talks about in-app creator templates.
Okay, now what are those?
So these are the pre-designed formats that different platforms offer.
That Instagram will suggest for you.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
They can save you a lot of time and effort.
Yeah.
Especially if you're just starting out.
Okay.
You know, experiment with those templates, see what works for your brand, and they're always updating those.
Okay.
So it's good to kind of stay up to date on what's available.
Okay.
And then carousels, those multi-image or video posts.
Right.
He highlights those because they're so versatile.
Yeah.
You can use carousels to tell stories, showcase different products, even share a collection of tips or insights.
He gave the example of Airbnb, right? Airbnb.
Yeah. Using carousels to showcase all those beautiful
destinations,
places you can go.
Yeah, inspire that wanderlust.
Yeah. What about Notes app posts?
Notes app posts, yes. I've seen a lot of those lately.
Yeah, they're kind of trendy.
They are trendy.
I see a lot of creators doing that.
GaryVee is all about authenticity. And he argues that these Notes app posts create this sense of raw, unfiltered sharing.
Okay.
Like you're giving people a glimpse into your inner thoughts.
He gave an example of a creator who shared a list of goals.
Yes, goals he was working towards. Yeah. And it just made him seem really relatable and human. Okay. Like he's just a regular person working towards his dreams, just like everyone else.
Okay, cool. And then lastly, did you know posts?
Okay.
So content that sparks curiosity.
Okay.
And provides valuable information.
He used that mattress company example, right?
The mattress company, yes.
I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, so they created this video breaking down the science of sleep and how their mattresses are designed to optimize sleep quality.
And that sounds kind of boring.
It sounds boring.
It went viral.
But it went viral because it was providing valuable insights that people were genuinely curious about.
So you never know.
You never know.
What's going to hit.
What's going to hit.
Yeah.
Even the mundane topics can be interesting if you know how to frame them.
I like it. Okay.
So those are just some of the tactics that he recommends.
Okay.
And obviously, there's a lot more in the book.
Yeah.
But I think those are some good ones to get you started.
This is amazing.
Yeah.
I'm already, like I said, I'm ready to revamp my whole content strategy.
Yeah. I think it's a good book for that.
But it will give you the tools?
How do all these tactics actually translate into real-world results?
That's the question, right?
Yeah.
And that's what we're going to talk about in part 3.
Okay, perfect.
We're going to dive into some real-world scenarios and see how GaryVee's principles can be applied.
All right, I'm excited for that.
To different businesses and industries.
Awesome. We'll see you in part 3.
See you there.
Welcome back to the deep dive. So we've talked about the theory behind Gary Vaynerchuk's day trading attention. We've explored the tools.
Yeah.
But now let's get down to
the real world.
Brass tacks. How do we
apply it?
Apply all of this?
That's where the rubber meets the road.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And thankfully, Vaynerchuk doesn't just leave us hanging.
No.
He walks us through some really relatable, real-world scenarios.
I loved this part of the book.
Me too, yeah.
It really, it all clicked for me.
It makes it all come together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, one scenario I think will resonate with a lot of listeners is the young person trying to convince their family about the power of social media.
Yeah.
Vaynerchuk uses the example of a roofing business.
He does, yep.
It's somebody who's,
young person joins the family business.
Young person joins the family business.
Well, wants to bring in fresh ideas. leverage social media.
Yeah.
Parents are like, no, we've been doing it this way for 30 years.
Right.
Classic generational clash.
Yeah, it's so relatable.
Totally.
You know what I mean? You're trying to innovate, but you're also navigating these family dynamics.
Yeah, you don't want to step on any toes.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
So what's his advice?
So he actually cautions against immediately taking over the existing business accounts.
Oh.
Instead, he suggests creating separate accounts.
Oh, okay.
Specifically dedicated to, sharing roofing tips, insights, behind-the-scenes glimpses of the work they do.
So it's about demonstrating the value.
Yeah, it's about proving the concept.
Of social media.
Yeah.
Without disrupting the existing business.
Oh, you're not ruffling any feathers.
Right.
You're just showing them, hey, look what I can do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if you're consistently putting out that great content, people will naturally start to see you as the go-to expert in your field.
They'll come to you.
Yeah.
You'll become that trusted resource.
It's a much softer approach than like, hey, everything you've been doing is wrong. Let me take over.
Right. Because that never works.
It never works.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's shift gears to a completely different scenario.
Okay.
The locksmith.
The locksmith. Okay.
You know, the kind of business that deals with urgent needs.
Yeah.
Like, I can't imagine scrolling through TikTok to find a locksmith when I'm locked out of my house.
When you're in a panic? Yeah.
Exactly.
I just need to get in.
So how does day trading attention apply to a business like that?
So this is where Vaynerchuk really challenges our assumptions.
Okay.
He argues that even for businesses that address urgent needs, social media can play a crucial role in long-term brand building.
So it's less about
you're not going to get
immediate leads,
an immediate customer,
and more about
posting on TikTok,
establishing yourself as
the trusted expert
in your area.
Yeah. So when they do need a locksmith,
they're
going to think of you.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It's about staying top of mind so that when that need arises,
when they're in that moment of panic,
you're the first one they think of.
And they're not scrambling to find someone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk politics.
Okay, politics.
Vaynerchuk uses the example of someone running for local office, right?
Yes, he does.
And this is where his deep understanding of platforms comes in. He specifically highlights
he does.
Facebook.
Yeah.
And in particular,
Facebook Live.
Facebook Live as being incredibly powerful.
Powerful for local.
Why Facebook Live?
He argues that Facebook is still the platform where you're most likely to find engaged local communities.
Okay.
And live video offers that raw, unfiltered feel that can be so important in building trust with voters.
Yeah.
He suggests hosting virtual town halls, answering questions in real time, just generally being present and accessible.
It's like the modern day version.
It is. It's like the new...
Going door to door and shaking hands and kissing babies.
Door to door. Exactly.
Yeah.
But you can reach a much wider audience with Facebook Live.
Exactly.
Yeah. He also talks about using Facebook ads to micro-target specific demographics.
Within the community?
Yeah. Young parents, seniors, business owners. Whoever your key constituents are.
So even in the world of politics, which can feel very traditional.
Yes.
These principles
they still apply.
Of day trading attention apply.
Absolutely.
Okay, last scenario.
Okay.
The big brand.
The big brand, okay.
Vaynerchuk talks about a cleaning product company.
Yep.
Trying to figure out how to leverage TikTok.
Leverage TikTok, yeah.
To promote their mascot.
Yeah.
And this is where things get
fun.
Really fun.
Yeah.
Vaynerchuk is all about embracing humor and creativity.
Especially on TikTok.
Especially on a platform like TikTok.
Yeah.
He encourages brands.
He does.
To study successful examples like Duolingo.
Duolingo, yeah.
And think about how they can create content that's both entertaining.
Entertaining.
And brand
aligned, yeah.
Like Duolingo's mascot, that owl.
The owl.
Is everywhere.
Everywhere.
And it's always funny and engaging.
So good.
It's so good.
Yeah.
So Vaynerchuk suggests brainstorming a series of skits featuring the mascot.
Yeah.
Maybe even incorporating trending dances or challenges.
You got to.
So you're not just...
You can't just slap your logo.
Slapping your logo.
On a random video.
On a random video.
No, you have to really think about it.
You really have to think about it.
Yeah. And he really stresses testing and iterating.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to try different things.
Mm-hmm.
See what works.
Right.
And refine your approach as you go.
So what are some of the key takeaways from these real-world scenarios?
Yeah, I think the biggest takeaway is that day trading attention is a mindset.
Okay.
It's about being constantly aware of where people's attention is focused.
Right.
Being willing to experiment
Mm-hmm.
and not being afraid to fail.
Vaynerchuk says it's all about the macro patience.
Yes.
With micro speed.
Macro patience with micro speed, yeah.
In other words, you have to be...
Try to be patient.
Patient with the overall process.
Yeah.
But when you see an opportunity, move quickly.
Quickly.
Yeah.
This has been such an insightful deep dive.
It has been.
Really. Gary Vaynerchuk's Day Trading Attention.
Yeah. He brings a lot of energy.
It's a book that will really make you...
A lot of good ideas.
Think differently.
About how you approach social media.
Absolutely.
I highly recommend it.
Yeah. It's a must-read.
And if you're hungry for more deep dives into insightful books, be sure to check out One Book a Day on YouTube.
That's right.
We'll see you there.
See you there.